Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I'm camping in the Shenandoah Mountains and having lunch on my hammock. And my view out that way is really nice, but... So, what do we know about the journey of the soul, I guess we'd say? I never really know what our topic's going to be. So I come out into the woods and I'm trying to connect to source energy, refocusing on the energy ball that I really am and the perfection of the planet going around the solar system, around the galaxy, and the fact that source energy is a constant, always available to everyone sense of peace, clarity, and ultimately unconditional love. That's all we're ultimately here to do, is express our version of unconditional love. We all have our own version. Your inner soul has its plan on how it wants to express its unconditional love. So if you're trying to follow that calling, which everyone has, then it's through your emotions, right? Your thoughts are an interpretation of your emotions, your frequency, your vibration. When you're feeling funky, your thoughts are funky. When you're feeling fearful, your thoughts get fearful. When you're feeling love, your thoughts are of love. And you just keep going to the feeling of everything's working out for me. It's always working out for everyone. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to fear. But if you're holding a fear frequency, a fear sense of things in your ethers, if that's what you're resonating with, then you're going to see fearful things and they're going to manifest in your life, and it's going to ultimately wear you down and make you sick. So the thing is, we're in this time warp, though. We're on planet Earth where gravity and time are part of our experience. So it takes time to see it happen. If you could have a thought and feel the funkiness immediately, you'd regulate and you'd say like, oh, I can't let that thought happen. I instantaneously feel bad. But sometimes we don't feel bad at all. But then years go by and, your body's been dying from the inside. And ultimately, it's always fear. But it's really hard to get away from the fear vibration on planet Earth, so it's part of life, you could just say. But I'm just trying to remind myself and remind everyone else to be aware of what emotional state you're in at the moment, aka what frequency are you projecting, receiving. You're always projecting, receiving, projecting, receiving. When you're feeling love and you start to feel love for your planet and your people and your situation and where you are, and gratitude and all those wonderful emotions come over you, then you're projecting. You're projecting that love energy out, which is what we're here to do. And you'll receive love frequency from the universe through synchronicities and connections with people and connections with nature. You'll pull the love energy out of nature. You could pull the fear vibration out of nature too, right? This could all be a very fearful place for you. So it has to do totally with your inner resonance. That's your only business. Be conscious. You're going to slip up. You're going to go into a fear vibration. You're going to come into a love vibration, fear vibration, love vibration. And when you're into the love vibration, you want to milk it for all you've got. But you can't be shaming on yourself when you go into the funky fear vibration. But just calling attention to the fact that when you're following your inner bliss, your connection through your ethers to the God source, to your higher self, that it's going to feel good and clear and like unconditional love. Unconditional. There's nothing here to be afraid of. There's nothing you could do wrong, nothing you could have done wrong, nothing that can go wrong. There's just matching of your frequency. So if you want things to be different, that doesn't mean better. But if you want them to be different, then be more conscious of your emotions at the time. And just know that the world is going to bounce back a matching frequency. So if something looks funky, angry, bitter, scary, whatever, and it doesn't feel good to you, then know you can make a new choice. But that's tricky. It's tricky to be conscious of the tools that bring you up. When you're really feeling funky, it's hard to get out. So sometimes you just need something to distract you, and next thing you know, you're feeling kind of neutral. But I guess the one of the points I would share with you, I never really know what points I'm going to share exactly, but I like to go towards something feels good. So maybe I'm feeling funky about, coronavirus, or now people feel equally funky about the vaccine. It's like you really didn't need to worry about either one. Doesn't mean they don't exist. It doesn't mean people aren't suffering. Doesn't mean people aren't dying. But suffering and death is happening all the time anyway. So we got to come to grips with the fact that, it's the same thing with nature. All these plants are battling for control. But there's love and harmony in it as well. And there's the richness of diversity. And, there's so much, like for instance, we want to have a feeling of change and want something to be better. But yet when something, well, let's not focus on the word change, but say we want something to be better, we want something to be different. I guess you're going to call that change. But when things end or things change, we always label them as bad. It's like, oh, things are changing and things are scary. We get fearful of change, I guess is my point I want to say. But change has to happen for good to replace less desirable. Because there's no bad level. There's no bad frequency. There's nothing that's wrong. And if you think you're into unconditional love and you're experiencing that and you're having that blissful day, just know there's deeper and deeper and deeper, or more clear, or more connection, or more unconditional. So you never get it done. So why judge where you've been or where someone else is on their journey? Just hold that frequency of unconditional love in your own ethers. One, you'll pull the love out of other people. You'll feel it in yourself. You'll experience it. You'll attract it. You'll manifest it. You'll resonate with it. Your whole life will become that love vibration that you're holding predominantly, because you're not going to always hold it. Or at least there's going to be varying levels. So you're just being more conscious of your emotions and your state of mind, and working on what the tools are. The more often you come from funny feeling and say, I'm okay with this funny feeling. What emotion is coming up now? What am I trying to glean? What am I trying to glean from this funky thing that's appearing in front of me? Something feels fearful and funky. What is it I'm trying to learn from that? It's always about letting go. Just let go of that something has to be a certain way. Everything is allowed to be the way it is. That's really what makes the beauty. It makes the beauty of nature. It makes the beauty of the planet. It makes the beauty of our experience here as humans. Allowing others and everything to appear as it's appearing. Acceptance of what is. And that sense of needing to do something about what is and change what is always based on fear. There's nothing to fear. You're an energy ball. 0.0001% solid particles. And those little solid particles at their core flip in and out. They're energy, matter. You're like a television screen, just projecting whatever your predominant ethers are. But it gets so much more complicated. We're humans on this planet in this part of the galaxy at this time well, time doesn't exist, so really it's where is the planet in the 24,000 year trip around the galaxy, and how is that affecting our frequency and vibration of the planet that then affects the frequency and vibration of us and our connection to our source energy true selves. And right now on the planet, it's a really great time to get connected. Experiencing and exhibiting and receiving unconditional love has never been easier. And that's why a lot of people are going through a lot of funk, because it's like, I feel it, and then I don't. That feels terrible. I feel it. and then I don't. That feels terrible. And so if we didn't have those dips into really deep unconditional love experiences, we wouldn't feel funky about where we are. So that feeling funky about what's going on the planet right now is because the planet is giving some really blissful moments. And just know it's all for our journey. But the only journey we're really on is to express your version of unconditional love. But you gotta feel it, you gotta own it, you gotta give it to yourself. That's really where it all starts. And that's all there is. That's where it starts and ends. The more unconditional love you have for yourself and your experience and your what is at the moment, any given moment, every single moment, the more loving you are to your present moment, the more conscious you are of your present moment, conscious of your emotional state, the more you're going to experience love, give love, be love, and change the whole planet. Not by running around and doing things, just by being that expression of love. Hold that sense of unconditional love for others around you and let them change and grow at their own pace in their own way. Because otherwise you're pushing. And as soon as you're pushing, then you got resistance. As soon as they put up resistance, then game over. Then you're back into resistance of what is. You got to love where you are and love who you are at the moment. And then you look to where you're going from there. But it's going to have to be through an emotional state of everything's working out for me. Everything always has and always will. So, that's my nugget from the woods today. I should show you the other way. I don't know if you can really tell, but there's the skyline. Kind of overcast day. But it's like temperature's just perfect and no sun beating down on me. So it's a great spot to have my smoothie that I carried with me, and I got my bike down the hill there. And Shenandoah, I did a 100-mile race here a few years ago. I've done a couple of them. And I'm like, today, 10 miles. That's all I got. I'm in a new paradigm here. I'm just trying to be more of a human being and less of a human doing. So that's not to tell anyone else what journey they should be on. I loved every step of my life. And now I'm rambling. So, all right, love on yourselves unconditionally, and the rest will take care of itself. All right, see you guys.